When I was recording it, I was actually like crying.
Yeah.
Like I still kept the take of me like performing it while I was crying. So like it was very hard to mix because I was like snotty and all this. But B, I just wanted to get like the raw emotion of the song.
Hey, Jess here. I am in Miami, Florida, meeting with songwriter-producer Hunjiya. So what does it mean to you to be a music producer?
So being a music producer for me means that I have full creative control. I'm also a songwriter and also a musician, and so for me, I feel like when the song is good on its own without any production and just like good, just with me and my guitar, just me singing it, then like that means that in a production setting that I can pretty much do whatever I want with it and like try to make it, like try to get like the meat and bones of everything. The creative process for me, it always depends on the song.
Okay.
It always depends if I already have the song fleshed out and or if I just have an idea.
Yeah.
Or if it's just one of those days where I'm just like, I'm just gonna make something from scratch. But most of the time, as far as for music production, like if like it always usually starts with an idea that I have, like even if it's like a melodic idea or a lyrical idea, and then I go about that and add drums, add like guitar, piano, or whatever else, in, like whatever instrument that I want. This one started off really with like me playing around with some chords on piano. I'm standing at the end. I was going through a breakup at the time.
Yeah.
And so
that's the best time to write, right?
Exactly. And I just was feeling real emotional, so I was like, piano, that's the instrument. It is Spitfire instruments, and so they have this like branch off of it called Labs, and so I just got it for free, and I thought the piano sounded really nice. I love Harmonies. That's like my favorite thing to do ever, recording. You brought me to the last side of the house.
So why the decision to have a wall of harmonies?
For this song in particular, I wanted to emphasize like the word thanks. So it would sound like having the wall of harmonies be like this. So let's say thanks to our friend's house for so that way it has that. But because if without it, it just sounds very like, I don't know, just it doesn't sound bland, but it doesn't sound as full as when I have the harmonies.
I hear a lot of virtual instruments, if you will, in your music. Where do you find your sounds? Do you have like a sound library that you've been building over years? Do you have any favorite places where you go and pull your drum sounds or your synth sounds?
So as far as for like drum samples go, a lot of it has been given to me by some friends that have also helped me like develop my music production and everything. And so luckily like they've been generous enough to just be like, yeah, like, here's a sample pack that I got from another friend who got from another friend.
Cool.
And so a lot of my drums come from there, but then a lot of the time I like to like layer different drum samples because if in the case that like a kick doesn't have like a lot of, or it doesn't have the high end that I want, then I like layer it off with like another kick or something like that.
Yeah.
So I sampled this kick, which is like one of my favorite kicks ever, because it has like the high end with like the freaking sub, and it sounds so nice. And then the snare I got from a sample pack that my friend actually gave me, but I just added like a little bit of room reverb. As far as like virtual instruments for like synths and everything, honestly, I like to just play around with what I already have. So I use Logic primarily.
Nice.
And so I just get like some of the synth samples in there and then just tweak it like crazy. This synth is actually like the Mellotron. It comes with Logic, and I used like this flute and string sound.
Nice.
And so you can manipulate like how much you want to blend each sound, and like the tape speed of it.
Oh yeah.
And so I just did whatever one that sounded the best and like fit with the mix best. So that way it gave the song a little more like, I guess, just more texture, but also to make it sound less digital. Or I like to also like manipulate my voice. That's something I do a lot. I did like this vocal harmony transition to make it the drum.
I fucking love that. Wait, play it again.
Yeah, and with that, it was like a lot of automation. Yeah, and so I think what I did, I remember, on SoundToys, I used like Pan Man.
Yep.
So that way it's like going back and forth, left and right. I did this trick that my friend actually taught me where while the distortion, I'm like increasing that, I also am countering it with reverb. So it gives it like this crunchy but also roomy effect, if that makes any sense. Just to show you. So
Yeah, I would love to hear it.
yeah, so like if I got rid of the distortion on this, it sounds just like... But me raising like the distortion gives it like the bounce of the sound. So like... And now, like, I could do that with just like a compressor, so that way the same thing, like with distortion, I could just get the volume changes in that section. But I wanted the distortion because it makes it a little more like textured.
So you write, produce, and mix?
Yes.
I didn't realize that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So, okay, but you see them as two different arts then? Like producing is one thing, a process, and then you mix. Is that kind of how it goes?
I try to treat it as two different things.
Yeah, okay.
I love to separate it just because I feel like it organizes things more and it puts things, it furthers the process into mastering. So that way it's just like, okay, production, mixing, mastering, here we go.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love mixing because it feels like it's like you're cleaning your room. So yeah. So the outro, I actually just added like a crap ton more synths. And just layered it together.
Why is that? Just to have a big outro?
Yeah, so the whole thing, like, after this part, like the last chorus, which is the outro, I wanted it to just be, like, the biggest moment in the song, and because everything else has been pretty tame, so I wanted to add, like, the sub, which is, like,
oh yeah,
very jarring, and with the kick. And so I changed the kick, I changed the sub from the first time, and then with the synths, I just, like I said before, like I wanted to add like more textures to it. So I think it originally started off with just like this one, which is very subtle, but then like adding something that has more of more textures to it.
Yeah.
So it just feels more full. And then I add this organ because I really like just the initial,
like the attack.
Yeah, the attack of it. With that, like adding all the synths together to give it like this full effect, as well as the guitar. I just wanted to sound the most full that I could possibly get it to be.
So how do you know when a production is finished?
That's a hard question because I'm definitely such a perfectionist, like most musicians are. But I would say for production-wise, not including mixing or mastering, I would say just for production, I would know when it's done when I've listened to it enough times and don't think that anything is missing. or don't think that anything is too much, I guess. When I can listen to it in the car, or like when I'm just walking around, or if I'm also like showing it to friends as well, that's like big thing for me. Because especially people just that I trust their ears. I would say that, I don't know, I guess like for me it's done when I know I've listened to it enough times and that I'm like, okay, this is what it is, and the only thing that I really would want to improve is the mix. I'm just trying to work on more music on my own, work on my own stuff, and like honestly just like hone my craft a little more.
Yeah.
Trying to produce for other people and also produce in different styles that I've never done before. Because I feel like right now I want to get out of my comfort zone a little more.